A very good evening to everyone. I hope all of you are safe and healthy at your home. Uh, while at home, most of us are helping in household activities. Some of us are doing reading, some of us are attending webinars, and this is the way in which most of us are spending our time. According to me, along with this, I think all the business leaders and all the future entrepreneurs also need to, at the same time, spend some time in planning. So, I represent a company known as SAP Consulting and Implementing Company, and as the name suggests, we are one of the few companies in the country who consult and also implement. This lockdown is a window of opportunity. From the past experience that we have gained in Sharp Consulting, we have seen that after the ideation process has completed, it takes about 8 months to 12 months to launch a brand. Today, as we sit in the lockdown, until the time the antidote of the virus comes in, it is a decent 6 to 8 months. So there will be two kind of people here. Type 1 will be that who will do the planning now and be ready for implementation in next 6 to 8 months. Type 2 will be the one who will wait for the lockdown to get over and then start his planning. Out of these two, the one who has already made the planning will get into execution mode after 6 months, after 8 months. And the other who will start his planning will lose the race before entering the race. Therefore, it is the right time for most of us to plan. Is planning easy? It is not at all easy, because there are so many things which goes into planning that until and unless you do not get a support of an expert, you will at some point of time miss an important critical element. Let's take an example. Sometimes it has been seen that a small element such as packaging comes in the last list of priorities. They think that we will invest in manufacturing, we will keep great facilities, we'll have a good infrastructure, but when it comes to packaging, people think that this is something which can be done later, or we'll hire a small agency who can do the packaging for us. So the investment goes huge in creating the facility, and when it comes to packaging, there is a constraint of funds. Let's look at this thing a little more deeply now. What is packaging all about? It is actually the speaker of the brand. I also mean to say that when a product is launched or a product is kept in a store, you do not have the retailer attending it all the time. The sales team has also its constraint because it is not available 24/7. So it is the product which is communicating with the customer. Now look at packaging from a different angle. How important it is. It is actually the most important thing. And it is a detailed science. It is not just, you pick up a color which you like and then you put a name which you want and your packaging is ready. It's not like this. It's much detailed, and that is where people like Sharp Consulting and Implementing Company come into play. Now let's take it a little step ahead. But before that, let me tell you that whenever we launch a product, there are actually 3 stages, which is planning, implementation, and control. Extreme coordination in 3 will result into success, high probability of success. So once the planning is completed, which also includes the go-to-market strategy, which is one of the core elements of any planning that we do. The next stage is implementation. So when we start implementing, we interact with the customer, we interact with the market, and that is where the AITEA model comes into play. So what is this AITE model? The first is awareness, which you have to create, otherwise your brand will go unnoticed. Second, you have to generate interest, because if the people are not interested, they will not come to your product. Number 3, trials, because that is one of the way in which the customer is going to interact more properly with the product. Now these 3 things are in your control. So what we are doing here, we are creating the entire marketing strategy, we are creating the entire visibility, branding and everything, all with one intention, that the product must be off the shelves. Now once it is off the shelves, nothing is in your control. That is where the interaction between the customer and the products happen. And it is the success or failure of anybody. You cannot do anything once the product is with the customer. So do whatever you can till the time he buys the product. Make him aware, tell him how you have to use it, because if he messes with the method of preparation, it's gone. Then comes the 2 other elements, which is the interaction between the customer and the product. What are these 2? Evaluation. Every customer, every consumer has a benchmarking for anything. For example, if I take a simple product such as packaged drinking water, everyone has benchmarked it. Somebody has benchmarked Aquafina, somebody has benchmarked Bisleri, somebody has benchmarked Kinley. So the moment he will buy a new product and he will drink it, his brain will automatically send signals stating that, oh, this product is good in this parameter, this product is bad in this parameter, and there will be a positive, negative evaluation which the logical brain will do. And if the product scores, then it is registered, by which we mean adoption. So the product is now registered. So the next time when the consumer is going to the market, he will simply ask for it. So that is what difference Sharp Consulting has as far as its services are concerned. We seriously believe that we are not into the business of sales. We are into the business of customer creation. And when I ask a lot of clients a question, who are your customers, they fumble. And this is where the difference comes. You have to know who your customers are. So this is how we go about, this is how the company approaches the planning, implementation in control. Now let's look at, there are many people who come and say that, yeah, the plan is ready in my mind, I know what I have to do. But until and unless anybody cannot write down the plan in black and white and show somebody, I fear that the plan will work. I don't think so it will, because what comes easily goes easily. It has to be seen in black and white. And that is where people like us come in. We have the ability to pick up an idea and convert that plan into an actionable plan into action. That is what we are capable of. So the plan has to be seen, and it has to be perfect from the time the idea is generated till the time the consumer has picked up the product. So this is the way in which we we cater our clients, and this is the approach that we take. Along with this, there are some value addition that we do. If at this juncture, the coronavirus has really battered the world in a very, very bad way. So let's take a model known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's a very old model which finds its application even today. Now, what does Maslow talk about? So, in simple language, if I have to, explain it to you, it is just like everyone has a basic need. If a person is there, he is working. What is he working for? He wants first his basic needs to be fulfilled: food, shelter, home. So once the basic needs are fulfilled, then he moves to the safety needs, which is health, security, which he wants so that he is secured from all angles. Then he moves forward where he wants his need for belongingness to be fulfilled, where it is, being accepted by the society, being loved by his people. Then he moves further. As his income increases, then he goes into esteem needs, which means that now he wants to show a social status, that yes, I am different. And once he has done everything, he moves to the self-actualization mode, where it is a stage where people reach and they think, yeah, I have done so many things. It is now that I have to give it all away, and I will give it unconditionally. And so this is how the Maslow hierarchy of needs works. Now let us look at it from Corona point of view. What is the most important need at this time for any customer, for any demographic, for any income group? Only one. I want to be safe. Today there is no antidote, and it is going to take some time till this antidote comes. So till that time, what they will do? They want to ensure that they are safe. So what they are after? They are after all those products which boost the immunity. So any product at this juncture using the word immunity booster comes out, it is going to be a hit. Now let's look at it different way. Is it immunity booster where the customer is looking at, or something else? Now, if I talk about immunity booster, it is a product related approach. If I look at marketing related approach, the approach would be not immunity booster. So that is something which has to be considered. That's why I say that planning and implementation are not that easy as it looks, because it is very dynamic and it changes. And right now, at this moment, if we look at Maslow hierarchy of needs, any person who is making any product or who is going to launch any product in future for an immunity booster requirement will boom. And it is not that after the coronavirus episode is over that the sales will decline. It will not happen like that. Once this is going to remain for a long time, because you never know when the next virus is coming and how it is going to attack. So you have a decent time with you after the coronavirus is over for the next epidemic. I hope that it doesn't come, but at least we want to be healthy. We want to be secure. So this is how we chip in. Experts like Sharp Consulting and implementing, we add value to the to any product proposition. Now this is now if we so this is the core way in which we address a client's requirement. We have successfully launched many companies in the past. Most of these companies are doing well, and Sharp Consulting is running operations for these companies. And we are right now in a process of launching a few more products. And this lockdown has also put some brakes into our speed, but it has not stopped us, because this has given us the time that we required to re-strategize and look at things in a different way. As most of the people say, that in adversity lies the biggest opportunity. So this is what we think, this is what we see. Before I end, I would like to talk about one of the beautiful models which I have accepted very well and I follow, which has helped me and helped many people, which is Stephen Covey's urgent important matrix. Now, I will not go into details, but I'll give you a gist about it. Any activity that we do are basically on 4 parameters, which is urgent, not urgent, important, not important. Now let us look at what is urgent and what is important. Paying your EMIs is urgent and important. You cannot negotiate with it. Paying your taxes, you cannot negotiate with it. You have to pay it. So these are the things which you cannot avoid. You have to do it. Now coming to something which is urgent but not important. For example, a data which you have to make. Well, whether you like it or you don't like it, you have to slog the whole night and you have to make the data. What learnings you get from it is not the thing. It is a requirement of somebody else which you have to fulfill, which you do. Third is not urgent, not important. There's a lot of time with us. So what we do, let's watch TikTok here. Let's spend some time. Let's talk to a friend and just do some chit chat. So I'm not saying these are not important. These are stress busters and have their own importance. But it is the amount of time that we devote here. The last thing is important but not urgent. At this juncture, when we are at home, do you think planning is important? It is important, but is it urgent? It is not urgent, but it is important. Relationship building with our clients. Do you think it's urgent today? It's not urgent, but is it important? It is very important. Any successful person who is at this quadrant will win. That is why planning is so important at this juncture, because we have got that time. So let's make the strategy. So that is what I wanted to talk. And before I end, there is one funny thing which I have noticed is the idea. I call it the idea syndrome. What is an idea syndrome? See, it happens like most of us get an idea which is planted into our brain. And the funny thing about this idea is that it comes to you only, and only you know that idea. Now the idea settles in your brain and it forces you to conceive. It doesn't let you sleep. It makes you work for extra hours only to do one thing, because that idea wants itself to be conceived by you so that the world could see it. And it is not going to stop till the time you do not do justice to it. What if you don't do? Understand one thing, nobody can stop an idea. If you don't do it, somebody else will do it. It will go out of your mind. It will go to somebody else's mind. And if that person works on it, he will make, a wonderful life. So if you have an idea, reach out to an expert, convert it into reality, make the plan, implement it, take the action, control wherever it is required, and make great success. Thank you for your time. This is Vijay Singh signing off. Stay safe, stay healthy.